So I'm gonna do a couple more videos before I leave the library. It's now 5:51 p.m. and they are making, as soon as I start this video or just before, they're trying to make my left eye burn. So this video I want to talk about everything I can remember from my experiences with the fake Kedren Mental Health in Los Angeles back in 2011 and 2012. So, excuse me. Last I heard, they call it Kedren Community Health or something. They changed it. I guess it's all the community health and not just mental health anymore. So with the fake Kedren place, well, I had a black doctor named Dr. Lucas. I think her name was Dr. Deborah Lucas, who was a psychiatrist. And I think she was the first and the only black psychiatrist that I've had. And I respect Dr. Lucas because she didn't act like a perp at all, And so she was light skinned from what I remember, but I consider her like the darker form of light skin, to be a black lady or whatever, So, I mean, I'm glad she didn't oppress me. That was it was back in 2011 and 2012. That was the last psychiatrist I ever had, and one of the best that I think I ever had. And by then, I had found out the truth about psychiatry and the mental health system and all that, but I didn't know all of the truth, and I still don't know all of the truth. But I had awakened to the truth about psychiatry and the mental health system. But, separation torture mission, union rescue mission, they forced me back into the mental health system and try to make it like that's the only way and they made it like as if I didn't have a choice. And they try to make it like as if that was the only way I can get housing. So I had the mental health therapist. Her name was Arisha Dugal, and she was Americanized Indian from India, I think. And her and a lot of the workers there would fraudulently and illegally drive around in a Lexus. And so Risha was a perp. And she would play all kinds of psychological and mental games and think everything is funny and do and say everything on purpose to trigger me. And then even after I left Kedren, she was making up fake stories about me or making up fake meetings that she did with me, that she claimed she did with me that she never did. It's like what she did was fraudulent, and I didn't know who to report it to. So I forgot how, some kind of way, like a year or two later, after I cut all dealings with Kedren Mental Health, I was told to go back to Kedren and ask for psychiatric records for something. I don't remember what it was. And it's like, wait a minute, June 2012? I wasn't even at Kedren no more. July, August, September. And they just making up stuff about me after I long stopped seeing them. So, and now they're hitting me in the heart with the directed energy weapons. Now I'm trying to expose the truth about them. So I'll say one thing. Kedren Mental Health is run like a business. They run it like a business, and they recruit people like a cult. They recruit you like a cult and run it like a business. So they had this dark-skinned, black, abusive, narcissistic mental health case manager. Her name was Mary Jane Jones, from what I remember. Her hair was way shorter than this, and I think she was shorter than me. I never questioned or asked, but she talked like she's from New Orleans. And I heard that she was taking fake luxury, using fraud and making fake luxury trips to New Orleans also, So they're exploiting and abusing the so-called mental patients. And so Miss Mary was a narcissistic abuser who was highly narcissistic, an abusive bully. I was already a grown adult and had lived on my own before knowing her. She thought that she had the authority to schedule psychiatry appointments behind my back, lab test appointments behind my back, and this appointment, physicals and this and that, whatever, behind my back without my knowledge, and then expect me to be there and be ready for this appointment at the very last minute. And then the van driver, she was mixed with black and Korean, named Ina Wilson. Miss Ina had cussed me out a couple of times. And Miss Ina, the van driver, would be honking the horn when I was forced to live at New Image Fresh Start, which was a bit of a step up from Union Rescue Mission, the separation torture mission. And so I think New Image Fresh Start, that place has been shut down years ago after I left. So shortly after I left, they shut down. And I never been to the big New Image shelter. And I had problems, at Union Rescue Mission. Didn't realize I was being gang stalked there. And so Miss Mary, one time, she set up a physical doctor's appointment for me, like as if I'm too mentally retarded and slow to know how to schedule my own appointments. She's very narcissistic and controlling, a black woman. And so what she did was one day, now I was taking showers every day, because like at Union Rescue Mission, you take a shower, I think it was 2:00 in the afternoon, sometime after lunch. I think it was it? No, I don't think we were allowed to eat lunch there. I think I used to go to the downtown women's center, and then after that, go to Union Rescue Mission to go take a shower at 2 p.m. or 3:00, somewhere around that time. And so I was showering every day. But what happened was I was using the cheap 99-cent store. It was like this 99 cents only store that had like a dollar bottles of liquid body wash. And I would use that body wash. It was cheap body wash. I was homeless and poor and didn't have much of nothing. Just moved to LA. And I took the swine flu, I can't say that V word. And so I didn't realize I was suffering complications from that. And and I ended up developing symptoms of very bad candida or candidiasis and lupus and something like very bad inflammation. So I had symptoms of lupus, but I haven't had symptoms of lupus in a long time. my biological family and foster mom, nobody cared when I gave them the news saying that I was diagnosed with lupus. But thankfully, I haven't had symptoms in years. So maybe that V was detoxed out of my system. And that's probably why I don't have symptoms no more. But I still have some, I don't think y'all can see it, but I still have some, a little bit mild vitiligo. Like some white spots and freckles on my wrists and stuff like that, you know. So one day, Miss Mary didn't even tell me, but one day me and her had a heated argument at New Image Fresh Start. And Miss Mary, who didn't care who she was around, you know, and I think even when I was at New Image Fresh Start, all I was able to afford was that 99-cent or $1 liquid soap. And she's like, hold on, wait. Excuse me. So she's like, you have a fungus underneath your breast. She said it out in front of everybody. You have a fungus underneath your breast. You are nasty and you don't shower. And I said, yes, I do shower. And no, you don't. No, you don't. And she didn't care that she said that in front of men. You have a fungus underneath your breast and you're nasty. It had nothing to do with me being nasty. You know, so I was showering every single day. So that's like if you have one little acne bump on your face, a narcissistic abuser will argue you that you're nasty and you're dirty and you don't wash your face. When you be like, I clean myself and wash my face every day. And then they try to argue you that you don't wash your face. So so she was that horribly abusive. I don't remember other instances off the top of my head about abusive, dirty things, but that lady was never nice to me. And she always was mean, cruel, and abusive, worse than the fake foster mom and Adrian Felder. She was way worse than the foster mom, and she treated me like as if I deserved to be punished with vicious hate anger. So I protested and begged and pleaded to get a different case manager. Eventually, I got another case manager. His name was Henry Oliver, and he would act effeminate and womanly. So I used to call him Sugar Fags as a nickname. So Sugar Fags, Henry Oliver, started off being nice and supportive and normal. And whatever smear campaigns he started to gradually, slowly, and subtly change and start to act different. When I was staying in Long Beach, I was forced to stay by that lady, Pamela Driscoll, and her husband, Victor James. And I call her ugly hell dyke hoes. And she was a narcissistic abuser, abusive narcissistic bully who tried to be gangster and ghetto. And she lived a high life. And I heard that her and Victor have a bad reputation for exploiting the poor and homeless. And I heard that a lot of the people who run the transitional housings in Los Angeles metro area, I heard that they all have a bad reputation for exploiting and taking advantage of the homeless and poor and stuff. So Pam and Victor, they're a black couple. And Victor acting like Pam's flying monkey and puppet. And so Pam, she lived a high life and lived in Signal Hill, California. She even bragged and admitted that she lived. And this lady saw me off first sight. Hated my guts. And she attempted to copy off a Union Rescue Mission when they kicked me out and they waited till after the beginning of the month to take my money and then kick me out kick me out and keep all my money and would not let me have my money back. And I ended up at basically they stole my money from me. And they waited till after the rent, and this is what shelters do. They wait until after the rent is paid, and then a day or two later, they pick an argument or fight with you for an excuse to kick you out and have you banned forever. And Union Rescue Mission, that's supposed to be a Christian organization, but they're abusive narcs who don't forgive. Thelma, she had a Jerry curl, so I call her Jerry Dykes. She was a hardcore Butch Man Dyke bully. Thelma Reed. What's that fake dyke whore? Akila Manuel Mills. What kind of Christian female reverend is she? When I saw Facebook pictures, a couple of years ago, I saw Facebook pictures of her throwing up the devil horn hand signs. But you love the Lord. You want to demand power and control like a man. All these narcissistic women wanting to be tough like a man. So, yeah, Akila Manuel Mills and Thelma Reed. And I don't even remember all those other people. Mary Witherspoon. And almost everybody in Los Angeles' name is Mary. Yeah, and I can even that fake security guard Dorothy from Separation Torture Mission. Yeah, they were abusive bullies over there, and so I was forced to do what 18-year-old security guards tell me to do, and I was 28 and 29 years old, abusing their fake power and fake authority. So I don't even know if it's possible that Pam hated me off first sight at that transitional housing in Long Beach. And she probably put stuff, it's like, I think when I was at New Image Fresh Start, they used to perp and bully me over there too. The only one who was nice to me was a lady named Lolita. I don't think I knew her last name, and she's from New Orleans like me. And Lolita was the only one who was nice and respectful. Everybody else was an abusive, narcissistic perp and gave me a problem. And they even had people trying to set me up to get kicked out or banned, even at the New Image Fresh Start. That guy, Kaz, I don't even know his real name. I just know they say his name is Kaz. What the hell kind of name is Kaz? An abusive, narcissistic, demand being in control punk hoe fucker. And the Kaz guy, he started off nice. I call him the greedy grizzly bear. He started off nice and then turned against me and started acting like a perp and everything like that. And they narcissistically demand that I be compliant with mental health. And so Henry Oliver, I think when I left New Image Fresh Start and started being at that transitional housing, that's when Henry Oliver started to act like an abusive, narcissistic perp and then started playing all kinds of psychological and mental games. And he was talking to somebody on the phone, and he ignorantly laughed like in front of my face and said, ha, 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 she got kicked out of the Union Rescue Mission. And so when I confronted him about it, he started to act narcissistic. Say, why do you worry about what I think? You worry about you. You don't worry about me. So they started mobbing me and ganging up on me and perping and abusing me at that transitional housing in Long Beach. So trying to remember what else. And oh man, they had this lady, I can't remember her name. Back in 2011, they were supposed to go on the Price is Right. And the lady was like, well, you can't go cleaning chairs. Try to mock and make fun of me cleaning and sanitizing the chairs and stuff, with the rubbing alcohol. That was after being raped by Giovanni. And so they had a lady named Alicia Darden. When I said I didn't want to say psychiatric medications or whatever, and she's like, you said psychiatric medication is poison. I said, well, it is poison. It is poison. You said psychiatric pills are poison. Yeah, they are poison. So yeah, I can't even remember everybody there, but and after I was long gone, Risha Dugo, what she did to me was she was writing. Say for example, if I quit going. Probably January or Feb. No, I think January, between January and March 2012. And I'm glad that Dr. Deborah Lucas, I'm glad she didn't force me to take medication. I'm glad she let it be my choice if I wanted to. So, Dr. Lucas, I used to talk to her about the Illuminati and MK Ultra and mind control and all that too. But, yeah, I mean, other people were talking about how corrupt Kedren Mental Health is too. They run that place like a cult, and they run it like a business. Like they try to. I mean, I saw like when I was staying at the transitional place in Long Beach, 526 East Rhea Street in Long Beach. um, Henry Oliver would try to recruit the housemates in the transitional housing. He would try to recruit them to come to Kedren. Like, as if they recruit new patients or new customers, that they can get a bonus. And so the fake CCHR Scientology people, they try to expose the Kedren people committing fraud with the with money and exploiting and abusing people. But then they got skeletons in their closet and dirty stuff too. So CCHR people, they lied to me and said that they're not connected with Scientology. I come to find out that they are connected with Scientology. So I quit dealing with them. I used to be very supportive of psychiatry and industry of death. That museum in Hollywood and everything. I used to go there every day. And then they started perping and abusing me and acting all kinds of weird. Richie Etrix, and I forgot that lady, I forgot her name. But they used to love me, and they used to give me free DVDs all the time. They used to always give me free DVDs. But then they started to ignore me and act like as if they're not interested. But then they wanted to try to use me to spread their fake science. I didn't even know they wanted me to spread their fake Scientology propaganda. So CCHR is a front group for the fake Scientology cult. And I kept hearing stuff at first, and it's like, and I was even passing out their flyers and stuff in Hollywood, and they're like, oh no, like people were like, oh no, isn't that what Scientology? Oh no, thank you, So now I know better. I mean, even Richie Etrix and all them, they betrayed and turned against me at the fake CCHR museum. Psychiatry and Industry of Death Museum. Now the thing is, everything they say about psychiatry and mental health is true, but the anonymous group exposes them. Anonymous, But then I heard that the ACLU exposes anonymous, or is it vice versa? Is it ACLU exposes Scientology and Anonymous exposes ACLU? One of those, I don't remember. But I quit supporting CCHR altogether after I found out that they really are Scientologists. So after I left Kedren, like in February or March 2012, why far back as September 2012, Risha was making fake reports about me as if I attended therapy sessions in September 2013, and then make it like as if, she didn't come out and say Candy is a narcissist, but she tried to falsely make it like as if I have she tried to point out fake symptoms of narcissism that she tried to falsely say I have. First of all, you're a therapist and not a psychiatrist, so you don't have that authority to diagnose me. That she tried to falsely say that Candy blames others for her problem. Falsely say that I blame others for my problems and stuff like that, just because if they try to say, well, can you pay $961 to stay in this group home, like boarding care? They wanted me to get boarding care, and I'm like, I'm too able-bodied to get boarding care. I survived on Section 8 for a long time until they vibrated me out my damn house. That I was forced to leave everything behind because they would torture me so bad with the directed energy weapons. So, I quit being compliant with psychiatry and find out psychiatry is satanic and demonic anyway, and Scientology is satanic and demonic also. So, and they try to play psych games when I said, how y'all expecting me to pay $961 to stay in a place, and I was only getting $800 something living in LA. I said, I don't even get $961. They're like, they'd be like, well, can you pay the $961? No, I don't even get that much money when I was getting Social Security and SSI combined. I'm like, I don't even get that much. I don't remember, I was getting 800 something per 800. I don't even remember how much I was getting. Maybe like $840 something. I don't remember how much I was getting. But somewhere about $840 something a month, and getting no food stamps. Because then, like, you get SSI, you don't get food stamps. Even if you get $1 in SSI, they don't give you food stamps in Los Angeles. But they raise your SSI to $152 extra. And so, yeah, how you were writing reports on therapy meetings and I wasn't even there. I was no longer your patient. And you're still writing stuff about me. And then Risha would do stuff like do and say stuff on purpose to trigger me and get underneath my skin and make me mad. And then laugh and think it's funny. I didn't like her touching me. She would be overly touchy-feely and put her hands on me all the time. And she had dirty fingernails. You drive a Lexus and you have a house. What you doing with dirty fingernails? My fingernails not even dirty. So, you know. But they try to falsely write down symptoms of narcissism, and then try to falsely pin that onto me. But Risha would do stuff like play all kinds of psychological and mental games on purpose to try to get me to lash out and go off and stuff, trying to provoke me. And then Henry and Oliver started to do the same thing. I just left Kevin altogether. So it's now 6:21. So I gotta go. Well, no, I'm gonna try to upload this video, and then I'm gonna do one more video before the library closes.